Mrs. Streep, Mr. Hanks, Mr. Spielberg, thank you so much for making this film. Wow, this thing was good. Where are we going?
We're about to go movies or Do not take your kids to watch this movie.
I like magic.
What the fuck did we just watch?
Half of the fucking movie is about the Joker.
Huh?
But yeah, it's a decent movie.
Hey guys, Ron and Jane. I just got back from watching The Post, Steven Spielberg's newest film that tackles the Washington Post battle against essentially the U.S. government over some studies, some papers that indicate that the White House had been lying about the Vietnam War for over 30 years. It is essentially the same feel that I thought about it as All the President's Men, except it takes place before it. Wow, this film, I had not done a trailer reaction. Bummer, I would have loved to got my reactions, but I saw it in the theater, the preview. I was intrigued by it, and then as we got closer and closer, I kept just thinking about it, and I said, how would I go watch it? Along the way, I was like, I'm not a big Spielberg historic films fan. I'm a big fan of Spielberg. He is responsible for the reason why I love films, along with George Lucas. But in terms of historical films, with the exception of Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and maybe Bridge of Spies, granted I haven't seen all of them, I'm not a big fan of his historical films. And who knows, one day I might change my mind. But this film was like, alright, I might like it, I might not even... I don't think I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray. It might not impact me or get me off my seat. And then into it, I'm like, yes. Holy moly! It's not just a. I'm not just seeing a documentary. I'm seeing thrill in it. I'm getting feels of dramatic, high stakes. I'm getting stuff of like what I usually get out of spy crime films, and this film really got me. I was sitting down this at times, and then I leaned over and being like, oh my gosh, what are people gonna say? What are they gonna do? And this film really transported you into the world of USA, Washington D.C., I believe, in 1971. But yeah, let's get that's out of the way. And but yeah, this film is full of tension. It's like a race film. There's thrill in it, and there's high stakes in it. Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks, TKO, total knockout. Such great chemistry. Who at first you could tell they work the same, but then they maybe don't see eye to eye. And throughout different scenarios of the films, they come to trust each other or depend on each other a little more. I would think to say, but Meryl Streep playing Kay Graham, I believe the first female to ever be to own a publication of a newspaper. I believe I might be getting the words wrong, but I just know that was a big significance figure, female figure, and you could tell people didn't trust her, didn't believe in her, didn't think she had the will or the strength to handle a newspaper, and that she was just lucky because her father had it and then gave it to her husband and then was left with it. And you see her at her low and you see her grow, and it was just like moments I was like, yes. The hell with everyone. You take everyone's opinions, suggestions, advice, but it's your choice. And there's moments there was a moment that she said something powerful, or not even powerful, but she made a statement and made her presence felt even more. I didn't say it, but I would have been like, yeah, you tell him, Meryl Streep. And but yeah, Meryl Streep is fantastic. Tom Hanks as Ben Bradley was relentless of giving up and finding the story, and not backing away from the fight, saying that right now we have this. We're a small newspaper now where we have all the possibilities, and it's about getting the right info, and it's about exposing these wrongdoings and that these ways have to end. And what's fascinating to me was that Kay and Ben both have relations with politicians that we see in the beginning, and it's sort of, they reflect on each other, like, well, you were friends with Kennedy, you didn't call him out, or you were friends with McNamara or LBJ, and you didn't call him out, and that was really this great back and forth of them being like, wow, we were friends with these politics, we ate lunch together, and they did this. Do we forget it and maintain this high royalty feel, or do we do the right thing and just tell the people what we're supposed to be telling them as a newspaper, for the freedom of press, and to be there to provide information to the nation. As someone who doesn't know the ins and outs of news and press and all that, I just know that this film was about bravery, truth, and how put in difficult scenarios, having the capability to shape or shift stuff is something that's big on your shoulders, and it's to see what's the next move, what people would do about that. But yeah, Mr. Streep, Mr. Hanks, phenomenal. The writing in this film by Liz Hannah, John Singer, is great. And I might be wrong, but I think Mr. Singer wrote Spotlight, which is, again, was an investigative feel, and I felt it the same way with this one, except that it was, instead of 10, 20 years ago, this was 40 years ago, almost 50 years ago. And yeah, great writing. When I say same feel as All the President's Men, you feel it, and I may even like this. This is tough. I really like All the President's Men. I remember seeing it at a young age and be like, whoa, this is cool. And the one thing that I could give props to is that this film, the cinematography is phenomenal, and that's sort of the big difference between that and All the President's Men. That All the President's Men for me was just like the camera was in one place and it stayed there while people moved, and it just followed it, went up and down, or it just was on someone's face and then just backwards. This film, the camera moved, it followed newspapers being made, it followed someone being running into race time. It was revealing someone looking shocked and astonished, and you felt the tension, you felt the race, or if something was going to happen, something was going to get wrong, someone was going to get caught, and all that feel was spectacular in this film. But yeah, and then also these are the co-stars: Bruce Greenwood, Bob Odenkirk, forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, Sarah Paulson, Tracy Letts, Bradley Whitford, and Matthew Rhys. So some of the names that popped into mind are great and help surround Streep and Hanks, and they all each have their own dynamics, and they help this film be lived on, or feel like it's lived in, and feel epic. And but yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be astonished and blown away by this film, but I was, and I give this film an 8 out of 10. And that's my review for The Post. If you guys like the review, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, post any comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.